This is one of the great animal short story in English for kids. Come, get into your bed, Squeaky, said Mrs. Squirrel. But I'm not sleepy yet, said Squeaky. Get into your bed and soon you'll be fast asleep. Squeaky wanted to go out and play for a little while. But Mrs. Squirrel said, "Winter is here and we need to go to sleep." "No squirrel goes out in winter, but I want to know what winter's like," Squeaky cried. Squeaky was getting very stubborn. Mama just picked him up by his neck, put him to his bed and sat there watching him. When she felt sure that he had gone to sleep, she scampered quickly into her own bed beside Mr. Squirrel. Soon, both of them were snoring loudly. Squeaky was restless. When he heard his parents snoring, he quietly left his warm bed of leaves and twigs and quickly left his burrow to experience winter. As he came out into the open, he shivered a little. A cold wind was blowing and there was snow on the ground. He decided to skate on the snow. "Oh, what fun!" he squealed in delight. Polly, the parrot, saw him. "Squeaky, what are you doing in the snow? You should be in your burrow." "No, I came out to see what winter is like." "Even you are out," cried Squeaky. "I can fly off to my home if I feel very cold and reach my nest quickly." "Can you fly?" said Polly. "No," said Squeaky arrogantly and moved ahead. Then, he met Whiskers, the tabby cat. She said, "Squeaky, what are you doing out in the cold? Go back to your burrow, quickly." "No, I want to live out in the cold," Squeaky cried. "Squirrels don't live out in the snow. You'll not be able to live even for 2 days. Please, go home," ordered Whiskers. "No," Squeaky was adamant. Whiskers ran away from Squeaky, then ran back to him and said, "What if it starts to snow? Can you run to your burrow like I can run?" "No," thought Squeaky to himself, but went ahead. Then he met Buster, the dog. He was running round and round in circles to keep himself warm. Buster asked, "Squeaky, is that you?" "Yes," Squeaky answered, not so boldly now. "Go home to your burrow, baby. You'll freeze in this cold. Squirrels are meant to sleep through winter." "Yes, BB Buster sir. I just wanted to see what winter was like," he stammered. "I'll go home later, but how you keep himself warm? Can you run around in circles like I'm doing?" asked Buster. "No," said Squeaky as he thought of returning home but not the way he'd come. By the time, Squeaky had started feeling hungry. He decided to go home after visiting the pond. He used to get a lot of berries and nuts there throughout the summer. But to his surprise, the pond had almost frozen. There was snow on the ground. He was disappointed. Then, Mrs. Lucky, the duck, spotted him. She came to him and said gently, "Squeaky, what's wrong with you? Why are you alone? Where are your parents?" Squeaky thought of his warm burrow and his parents snoring happily and he began to cry. Mrs. Lucky scolded him and told him to rush home. "But I'm hungry," Squeaky cried. There's so much of snow on the ground. You don't have a beak like me. Where will you find food now? Go back to your burrow. Scamper as fast as you can, commanded Mrs. Lucky. Squeaky came home, but the whole of his burrow had got covered with snow. He used his tiny claws to make a hole, just big enough to slide in. Mrs. and Mr. Squirrel had woken up by the noise. Squeaky, is that you? Where were you? Did you go out? Asked Mrs. Squirrel. But before they could come out of their warm beds to check, Squeaky had snuggled into his warm, cozy bed of leaves and twigs and was soon fast asleep. Here is a short visual depiction of one of the great animal short story in English, Curious Squeaky. Animal short story in English video.